This movie proposes a terrifying question. What if the elites who run the world aren't even from this world? What if they're beings from another planet or dimension who secretly infiltrated Earth, took over all positions of power, and enslaved the masses? The people with the most power, not even people at all? Does Begonia tell us exactly who is secretly running the world? By the end of this video, you're going to be left questioning everything. In Begonia, two guys capture a powerful CEO from the front of her $1 million home. They take her back to their house where they stash her. When she wakes up, they immediately grill her and demand she reveals what she really is. They believe this powerful CEO isn't what she claims to be. While she looks and acts human, they strongly think she is something else entirely. In their minds, an alien race secretly infiltrated the planet and took over all positions of power. With their advanced technology, they built modern society and firmly planted themselves as rulers. These two guys think this powerful pharma CEO is secretly one of these aliens in disguise. She denies it and pleads to be released, but they don't buy it. They spend the next few days doing everything to force a confession out of her. At one point, they even strap her to an electrotherapy machine. For the majority of the runtime, you're forced to think these are just two delusional nutjobs who have completely lost it. The movie actually works so hard to deliberately depict this. They want you to instantly see the two guys as crazy and the CEO as an innocent victim. They are showing you how the system works right out the gate. You're trained to see anyone who questions the narrative as crazy or even dangerous. This is exactly what the media does every single day with the news. They paint anyone who questions the official story as insane, ridiculous individuals, even when they're asking questions that everyone wants the answers for. Their labels are really just a silencing method, a way to convince the general population to automatically resist any story that isn't their official story. If you believe their lies, then you're a perfectly sane individual. But if you question that official story, you're a dangerous nutjob. In the movie, they lean into this negative stereotype from the beginning. The two guys look like typical basement dwellers who the media has made the stereotypical archetype for conspiracy theorists. The things these two guys do to her make you instantly feel bad for her and almost immediately convinces you they have lost their mind. Here are these two delusional men literally keeping the innocent CEO captive, a successful woman who did nothing to these guys. But was she really the innocent woman we are led to believe? While she looks like a normal everyday person, we all know looks could be deceiving. Once you look past what the movie wants you to think, it starts dropping hints that these two guys might actually be right. Before they even take her, look at how the movie shows the CEO. Pay attention to the opening scenes in her massive corporate office and her huge house. The places are completely empty of life. There are no pictures of family or any signs people actually live there. Also, when she's captured, her reaction seemed off. A normal person who just got kidnapped and strapped to a machine would completely lose their mind. She stays incredibly calm. When she begs for them to let her go, it doesn't feel believable. It sounds like she could in fact be hiding something. Even the way they film her makes you doubt her. Whenever the guys question her, the camera stares into her eyes just a little too long. The movie practically begs you to notice how weirdly she's acting. There's a scene where the CEO admits to being an alien, but they make it seem like she only admits it so they would hopefully let her go. Even after she admits it, you're forced to wonder if she's only saying what they want to hear. This scene could be seen as a perfect example of how they hide the truth in plain sight. While she admits to being an alien, everyone automatically assumes she is only doing it for her survival. When elites openly expose themselves in the real world, people brush it off as just a joke. This is exactly how they condition the masses to defend the system. For the entirety of the film, you're left at the edge of your seat wondering if she will escape these lunatics or if she's actually an alien. But the twist at the end of the movie reflects reality perfectly. More often than not nowadays, those labeled crazy liars are the ones telling the truth. Spoiler alert, it turns out the woman was in fact an alien and her alien buddies did infiltrate the planet and enslave the human race. In fact, the movie ends with the aliens destroying Earth. This movie accurately shows us the system and how it works, whether you believe in aliens or not. The system this movie is depicting perfectly mirrors reality. It shows us how it is designed to silence those who ask questions and condition the rest to comply no matter what. Everyone knows the leaders are shady, but the media does everything in its power to protect the most powerful people in the world. When some people ask questions about the lies and shady things they're doing, even if it is true, the media immediately shuts it down and reestablishes trust in the system. But like we learned this year, some elites were in fact not who they seem to be. This movie is telling us exactly how the system operates and keeps you stuck inside of it. Now I want to get even deeper into what this movie is actually about. This story of the elites actually being a race of aliens is not a new one. You have likely heard it across many books and other forms of media. But what most people don't know is that this story was not made up by ufologists. It actually traces back to biblical stories, which I will explain in a bit. Hollywood has been telling us the same story over and over again. In American Horror Story Season 10, they actually tell us a very similar story. In that season, we discover the government secretly made a deal with beings from another planet. The deal was quite similar to what we see in Begonia. The aliens will share their advanced technology with humanity and help them usher in a modern advanced world. But in return, the government permits the aliens to abduct exactly 5,000 American citizens every single year. The aliens use these abducted humans for medical experiments to breed an alien-human hybrid species. The government agrees to keep the operation top secret, providing Area 51 as a secure base. This is the same story we essentially see in Begonia. In both the film and the show, they paint the aliens as the secret builders of our modern world. With all our advanced technology coming directly from knowledge they gave us, is the idea of those in power working with them really still unbelievable? Is it possible the elite are secretly collaborating with aliens? Or even worse, are they actually aliens themselves, just like we see in Begonia? While most people think this idea comes from ancient aliens or Anunnaki lore, the reality is this same story could be traced to biblical stories. Earlier, I mentioned that this whole concept goes all the way back to biblical times. When you look closely at the ancient texts, specifically the Book of Enoch, you find the story of the Watchers. According to the ancient texts, these beings were originally divine messengers. Their specific assignment was simply to watch over humanity. They were ordered to observe us from above and guide us from a distance. But eventually they gave in to temptation. As they watched human women, they became completely infatuated with them. A group of these Watchers decided to break the ultimate divine law. The Watchers made a pact to abandon their heavenly post, come down to earth, and take human wives behind God's back. When they arrived, they gave humans forbidden knowledge. They taught them how to make weapons of war, how to work with metals, and the secret of sorcery. By laying with human women, they corrupted the natural order and reproduced. Their offsprings were called the Nephilim. These were massive, violent hybrids who consumed all the resources on Earth and turned the world into a place of complete chaos and bloodshed. This total corruption did not go unnoticed. When God saw what the Watchers had done to his creation, he punished them. He ordered the archangels to bind the Watchers in chains and imprison them in darkness deep within the earth, where they would wait for the final day of judgment. To deal with the Nephilim and the corrupted world they created, God sent the Great Flood to wipe the slate clean. Now look at the exact plot of American Horror Story. The government makes a secret deal with beings from the sky. The aliens give humans advanced technology to build a modern world. In exchange, the aliens get to abduct humans to breed an alien-human hybrid species. This is the exact same story. These beings are actually the fallen. This offers a completely different explanation for all of this. This means the elites in Begonia and American Horror Story are being led by beings from another dimension. Now, when you dive into the history of some of the most influential mystics and powerful secretive groups, you start to find this exact same story come up. One of the most interesting things I found while doing research into all of this was its connection to the influential British mystic Aleister Crowley. See, he claimed to have communicated with a cosmic god who telepathically fed him the teachings of his religion. During a series of ceremonies in New York known as the Alamantra working, Crowley claimed to contact an entity named Lamb. He sketched a portrait of this being, titled The Way, featuring a massive, bald head and slit-like eyes. The drawing was first published in 1919. As you can see, it looks like the typical depiction of an alien we find in media. Crowley must have gotten this concept from these depictions, right? Well, that is impossible because this archetype for the gray alien was not created until the 1950s and 60s. It was not depicted in movies until the 1970s. Crowley drew this picture first and referred to it as a god who taught him forbidden knowledge that he then used to create a secret religion. Now think about it. This is the exact same entity they depict as an alien in media. Do you think that's a coincidence, or are they telling us something much deeper? In fact, many of these secretive mystical organizations claim to have gotten their teachings directly from these fallen deities. There is a legend about George Washington, who was a member of the most influential secret organization in American history, being guided by otherworldly beings who showed him the future. The legend claims that during the brutal winter at Valley Forge in 1777, Washington went into the woods and was visited by a spirit in white who showed them a vision of the nation's future. Many people that believe in this story suggest Washington was approached by a deity from another planet, or was it from another dimension? We even see stories like this from brilliant minds in rocket science. Jack Parsons is credited for inventing the first rocket engine to use a castable composite rocket propellant and pioneered the advancement of both liquid fuel and solid fuel rockets. He also just so happens to be a devoted follower of the infamous British mystic. In fact, they even shared a relationship as Jack became the leader of the California branch of his secret religion. Jack himself claims to have seen these beings from another dimension who guided him in developing the rocket technology. Again, introducing the idea of this advanced technology coming directly from beings from another dimension. When you put the pieces together, things start to make a lot of sense. Hollywood keeps telling us this exact same story over and over again. The alien stories we see today match up perfectly with those ancient records. Movies like Begonia shows us how the media protects the people in charge. In the movie, the second you start asking questions, they call you a crazy conspiracy theorist. Films like this push us to look past what we are told and ask real questions about who actually holds the power. This movie reminded me so much of They Live. In that movie, we see the same concept. The elites are secretly beings from another world. They show us exactly how these beings trap us to use us for our resources. I actually recently covered this movie, so if you want to see what They Live reveals about the elite, watch this video right now. For those who want to further support the channel, check out my Patreon. For just $3, you get access to over 60 exclusive videos not available anywhere else. These videos are different because I don't have to worry about what I can and cannot say. So if you like what I do and want to join the movement, join me on Patreon. The link is in the description or in the comment section. Another way to show your support is by liking this video, and more importantly, hyping this video. Your hype gets this video seen by more people who need this wake-up call. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you get updated on every single upload. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.